Alright, what's going on guys? It's GCP here, and in today's video, it was actually inspired. The topic was from watching the Jack of All Trades latest video. By the way, I will leave a link to that in the description below, so that way you guys could go and check it out. And honestly, he was talking about how basically the skill-based matchmaking and the whole concept of sweats and how people are just really good nowadays in Call of Duty attributes to a lot of different factors. And one of those factors is what I want to hone in on today. And it really made me think that, you know what? Call of Duty has one of the most sweatiest players, if not the sweatiest players, around in the gaming scene. And a good reason for that is the fact that Call of Duty has been around as far as a first-person shooter genre goes, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as gaming goes, as far as a franchise, as far as a series goes, Call of Duty has been around for a very long time. And I looked this up actually. Of course, as you guys already know, or if you don't, I started with Black Ops 1. That's when I got into the Call of Duty scene. Before that, I used to play Halo, I used to play other games, but I never really got into the Call of Duty scene until Black Ops 1. So what I came to find out is that Call of Duty, actually the very first Call of Duty game, came out in 2003, October 29th of 2003. That was the very first Call of Duty that came out. So today, and in today's year, it is 2020. So if you guys look at it, 17 years Call of Duty has been around. They have made Call of Duty games since 2003. So I know there's always an influx of new players coming in. And of course, there's people who fall off as well, who have been playing the series for a long time. So even with that, and given all of that information, you could already conclude that there are a lot of veterans that play Call of Duty. A lot of veterans, no matter where you have started. For example, for me, like I said before, I've started in Black Ops 1, and I've been playing ever since Black Ops 1 in the latest installment, which is Modern Warfare 2019. So people have started way before me even. And even if you've started after me, there have been so many installments of Call of Duty that you think that all of these people have figured out how to play this game. People are already decent at this game. People already have seen multiple YouTube videos of best class setups. People have seen different strategies. People have seen different gameplays. People already know how to play Call of Duty. So to me, the Call of Duty players, the player base, the community of Call of Duty is the most experienced of any of the gaming community out there when it comes to first-person shooters. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? We have been around for a very, very long time. And honestly, it makes sense why a lot of the players who play this game are good. And Jack made the point that even without skill-based matchmaking, let's say, for example, they didn't put skill-based matchmaking in the game, players will already be good. And of course, that's not going to be true 100% of the time. That's a bit of a stretch, but the majority of it is kind of true because there is just so much experience, so many veterans, so many people who have hopped onto this franchise, who have hopped onto this series and have played it throughout the years. So there are just a lot of people out there who have a lot of experience in Call of Duty, even if they have jumped into it initially, played it for years and jumped out. Anybody could just hop into a Call of Duty game and automatically learn how to play it. I mean, it's an easy pickup to play shooter. Like, it's not hard to figure out how to play this game. There's not a whole lot of strategy behind Call of Duty. There's not. I mean, there's not a whole lot to learn when it comes to playing a Call of Duty game. You pick up a weapon, you aim, you shoot. There's nothing much more to it. Of course, with the jump pack CODs, there's a lot more strategy involved in that. With the specialist, there might be a little factor here and there. But, just the base, the core of what Call of Duty is an easy pickup to play Call of Duty game, like first person shooter. It's really that simple. I mean, it's not like Rainbow Six Siege where you have to be super strategy based. It's not like Overwatch where you have to learn all these different abilities, which again is a third person shooter. It's not even really related to Call of Duty, but I'm just talking in terms of games out there. Fortnite, Apex Legends is it's a little complicated because it has different types of healing and it has, you know, abilities and all that stuff. So I'm just throwing games out there that we can compare to Call of Duty, kind of. But you know, just that's neither here or there. But I'm just saying that Call of Duty, the reason why we have so many sweats in Call of Duty is because of the experience. I really think that plays a huge factor into why we have so many people who are just good at Call of Duty. I mean, it's not a hard game. It really is not. I mean, that's one of the things that I fell in love with the Call of Duty franchise for. It's an easy pick up to play arcade shooter game. Of course, it has evolved over the years, or devolved. In Modern Warfare 2019, I believe it devolved because it's not rusher friendly. It's not that, you know, fast paced Twitch shooter that you can just go out there and rush with. I mean, obviously it has different elements of it in this game, but there's been a lot of things with the mounting and the loud footsteps, the doors, the windows, all that stuff that have kind of demoted it, in my opinion. But honestly, that's just what I think, man. I think this is why players are just good. I mean, you look at other games out there who have not been out there for very long. It takes time to learn how that game is played. And of course, when you have newer players coming in, they have to learn the game. They have to get better at it. So the franchise as a whole, when it comes to other games out there, they haven't been around as long as Call of Duty has. So people have already figured out how to play Call of Duty. Other games out there that have been out for maybe, I don't know, let's say, for example, Battlefield. Battlefield's been around for a while now too, but not as long as Call of Duty has been around. So players might not be that experienced in Battlefield like they are in Call of Duty, you know? And there's other games out there that have not been around for as long as Call of Duty has. So obviously, you know, it's going to take them time to learn how to play this game and learn the mechanics, learn the core aspects of it. So all that stuff plays a role into whether or not these players will be good coming into the game. It's going to take longer for them to develop their game because they haven't played a game that comes out every single year, so they would know how it works. So that's just an aspect of Call of Duty that I didn't really think about until I watched Jack's video on that. It made a whole lot of sense to me. And I think that really has to do with that experience. And that just makes sense. I really think it makes a whole lot of sense. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Why do you guys think, or maybe you guys don't think, that Call of Duty has the sweatiest players in the first-person shooter genre? And if you guys disagree, let me know what game you think does, or what community does, and also why. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video and the commentary, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload. By the way, enjoy the rest of the gameplay here. It's almost over, and I will catch you guys on the next one. With that being said, this is GCP, signing off.
Enemy personal radar in the air. Less than a minute. Time is on our side. Keep fighting. Enemy shield turret active. Forward.
I know. I will trade you my shoes for some food. Please. I will trade you my daughter for some food.
Awesome. I will trade you my shoes for some food.
Please.
Please. 30 seconds. Time's up. Get
Please.
moving. That's what you said.
Starving.
I was like, shut up.
Please. I had it so together in water.
Please, you must understand. It's my only hope.
Smell blood and
It's
weapon.
not my only hope.
Well done.
Survival.
kicked out all the white people in Africa. And we are suffering.
Enemy at the rock shot.
In the crotch.
No.